Well, lads, welcome back to the Boosh channel again. And let me tell you, that last video did brilliant. That video and the last video before that and the video before that, everything for the Boosh channel is going well. And I'm having a brilliant day. I will definitely say I have some great news. So now the last video I remember seeing people going on about the sausage rolls saying, like some of you were in agreement that it's absolutely outrageous that 185 is the price of a sausage roll. But let me tell you now, I have brilliant news to be telling you so. They finally brought the price of sausage rolls down from 185. And get this, drum roll please, ladies and gentlemen. They took it down to 170. They took a whole 15 cents. A whole 15 cents off that sausage roll. My Jesus, we are living the life, so we are. We're living La Vida Loca at the very moment with these beautiful price changes whenever it comes to sausage rolls. Right, but we're going to get off the topic of them. We can do probably a whole video at some point on that. But today we're going to be chatting about nostalgia. And I can't even lie to you. Now, this video's idea, I was kind of surfacing YouTube and I seen a comment from this guy called Colin the Crazy. And I decided, to check out his channel because he was doing something similar. So then I seen the fact that he made a video on nostalgia. And that kind of reminded me that I kind of want to chat about some of the stuff that I used to play. Like whenever I was very young. Now, I'm not exactly, a grandfather or nothing like that. So I won't be chatting about how I used to play on the Atari, the Sega Genesis, the fucking the brown box, the original like the original Magnavox Odyssey. I'll be probably telling you stuff that I used to play on the DS or like the PS1, PS2, all that kind of stuff really. So shout out Colin me crazy. Colin me crazy. I'll probably link him in the description there. So thanks, cheers for that idea that I completely robbed from you. A lot of the games that I now am addicted to playing are definitely, you could kind of see it happening in like an early childhood. Like for example, now I was insanely in love with this game called My Theme Park. It is literally as simple as it sounds. It's a game, you have a theme park, it's your theme park. I mean, the title literally says that, but all you do is you build a theme park and stuff. And I remember I used to have like the roller coasters and like the water slides and that. And I remember that shit was like brilliant. Having to build a roller coaster, watching all these people go on it, watching them plummet to their fucking death because of the fact that I forgot to connect the rail. Little old 9-year-old me forgot to connect the rail on his Nintendo DS, killing 7 casualties in this roller coaster ride. Same with the water, the little lazy river thing. They went around it, plummeted to their death, hitting each other. It was a great game. Like a lot of games from my childhood are just kind of a lot of racing games and a lot of building games. I don't know why, but those are the kind of games I just liked whenever I was a child, and you can kind of tell that it's kind of brought on later in life because it's the only games I'll play nowadays. It's got to be racing games, shooter games, and building games. Like for example, I played a lot of games like Flat Out, Motorstorm, Need for Speed Carbon, Need for Speed Underground, Ridge Racer for the PS1, and all that kind of stuff. And those are brilliant games. I think out of all the games that I actually played, out of them, like that whole list, I think the one that definitely I probably had the most fun with, something like Flat Out. That shit was hilarious. You know how funny it is having your character in the car and then you rear end some poor man, you go flying out the window, or vice versa, you hit the back of them, they fucking die, they smack their head into a tree, instantly murdering them. It's the same with Motorstorm, right? Like Motorstorm Pacific Rift, the exact same thing. I remember seeing like the characters would sometimes get out of the car and start walking about the track, as there's these big lorries and big buggies and all coming, and just you bash them in because like it's just funny. Like I remember going out of my way sometimes whenever I'm winning a race, I would literally go out of my way to lose a race so I could knock one of these poor people down. Some of you might think that that's very cynical and absolutely horrible, and that's awful parenting, and how dare I be taught that at such a young age from these violent video games. You think I give a shit? That shit was fun. That sculpted the man I am today. A couple other games I used to play whenever I was young. Now this is probably not, the best thing to be showing your child, but it's funny as fuck. GTA 1 for the PS1, GTA San Andreas for the PS2, and Vice City, and then you've got GTA 3, I think, whatever the other ones are. But those have nothing in comparison to the experience of GTA Chinatown Wars in the DS. Oh my god, that game is the creme de la creme. That shit is beautiful. It's such a brilliant game, and I can't even lie to you, it's probably the reason I have such chronic gambling addiction at this age now, at the age of 20, because of the scratch card system in it. Besides that, it was a brilliant game. It was such a brilliant game, and I loved playing it whenever I was younger. I remember me and my brothers used to have, my dad, he got us like these wee DS cartridges, and like they were loaded up with games and everything, and we used to play all these games in the DS. I had a DSi actually at the time, but and unfortunately I think as we know it, we were in the city, I brought it with me. I think I might have left it down and somebody absolutely robbed me for it. So, fuck you to whoever's out there who has my DSi. I will fucking kill you. I swear to God. That was my prized possession. Had all my beautiful games in it. It had all the games I loved on it. And you've just robbed per 12, not even 12, I think it was 11, 10, something like that. You ruined a 10-year-old boy's life. I hope you're fucking happy out there. I genuinely hope your life is miserable, whoever took my DSi at a young age. But it wasn't just games in like the DS and like the PS1 and all that I used to play. I also played stuff on like the PS2. We also played on the Wii. We also played stuff on this little box. I remember my mum and dad were really into games whenever they were younger, especially my mum. And she had this wee Pac-Man machine. I remember playing on like that little machine. It's, all it is a blue box. I don't know what it is. It's a blue box with a strap and you play Pac-Man on it. It goes hard. I remember playing a lot of really good games whenever I was younger. And I remember there was also this other game that I don't know why, I just keep listing off games that I used to play. There was this game that I played on the original DS, and it's this Gordon Ramsay's Hell's Kitchen game. That was the most stressful game I've ever played in my life. Oh my God. Do you know how awful it is to work for Gordon Ramsay? It is awful. Oh my Jesus Christ. He gives you an order. You have to get it done within the 2 seconds that he gives it to you. Then you've got another order, then another. It's like, then as you're struggling to make these 5-star Michelin star fucking dishes, that he starts screaming at you and he starts calling you all the worst names under the sun. To like 10-year-old me being called a dickhead by the likes of Gordon Ramsay because I didn't get my carbonara out in time. That shit was stressful. That was the most stressful experience of my life. Now that might have been stressful, but the last game I want to chat about, and this game actually, I don't know why, this game used to terrify me when I was younger. I don't know why. Have you ever heard of the game called Spyro? Now, a lot of you out there will 100% know Spyro, but for some of you out there, it's like a purple dragon, man. I can't even remember the plot of Spyro, but I remember being terrified playing that game. I don't know why, but on the DS, I didn't like the thought of playing it. It might have been because of the fact that it was too pixelated, but then again, I played games like Chinatown Wars and Pac-Man, for fuck's sake. But I was quite terrified of that game, and I don't really know why. But there's one thing I'll definitely take away from this video, and it's the fact that I feel like a lot of games nowadays are just far too similar to each other, and I just don't feel the same way about games anymore. A lot of the games that were back then, like, they were all different from each other. They all had a different feature that made them that game, and they all had great graphics and like iconic graphics, and just they were brilliant games overall. They all set themselves apart. But nowadays, I just feel like a lot of companies, especially AAA companies, are kind of going in that direction where it's like they put out the same game, different graphics, different type of game. It's the same gameplay, same premise, but there's not really the same graphics, and that's the only difference between them. They're all the same crap being pushed out. And I don't feel the same whenever I see a new game come out. Like, there used to at least be a little bit of fun whenever a game comes out. I used to be like, oh my God, yes, this is such, oh my God, I can't wait for this game to come out. But now it's just crap after crap after crap. The only thing that's currently saving the gaming market at the moment, in my eyes, especially from games, are a lot of the indie games that are coming out. Some of the indie games coming out are mad. Do you see the hype that was around Lethal Company? The hype that was around Content Warning? All them type of games like that. You know, if you enjoyed the lovely Boosh video of me ranting on about how much I love a game and how much I'm terrified of something, give me, just give me that little subscribe down there, wherever you can see it. If you can see it, just press that. Trying to get to 100 on this channel. If you have any questions or anything you want me to answer, please email me at bosherboshmail@gmail.com, and I'll make sure to put it in a video at some point later down the line. Thank you very much, and enjoy the rest of your day.